Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morrisman, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. Whenever I can think of something that will make sense to help you become a good guitar player, I will post short, brief videos because you learn from observation. I mean, you can go to school for music, but you can't. There's some things you can't learn sitting in the classroom. The majority of stuff that I learned from other guys next to me playing, and I'm like, "What you doing?" Or they happy to show me what they're doing, and vice versa. Instead of somebody sitting in front of a chalkboard for 2 hours writing stuff out. I'm not discounting or dismissing that way of learning, or should I say soaking up knowledge, but it's not the overall picture as far as this is how I learned. I mean, again, the majority of guys that I know and famous people, they learn from other people. So here's something I'm going to pass on. And I touched on this before, but I think it's really important for me to kind of touch on it again. I've had a few people that say this to me. I play guitar and I don't want any dealings with the bass, or vice versa. I'm a bass player. I don't want to know nothing about the guitar. It's important to know both if you're going to be a good guitar player. And here's the reason why. The majority of the stuff that I tab, that I don't have sheet music to, I listen to the bass line. I don't listen to the chords. I mean, I listen to the bass line and I match up these chords because normally, if I can determine what bass note is, I just audition chords. I'm like, okay, this is a G note, so it's probably G major or G minor 7, the G suspended 4th or G major 7, and for probably a few others I can audition. And once I audition, I'm like, bingo, found it. That's all I do. That's why it's important to and I'm not saying that you should become a just full-fledged bass player. No, just learn. You're already playing 6 strings, pick bad bass, or you don't even have to do that. Just use your electric guitar as a bass and find the notes. And just simple as that. Then you match them up. That's all that I do. Because again, people from around the world send me requests. They like, could you tell me what chords are being used? I've never heard these songs in my life. Less than 3 minutes. Okay, these are the chords because I'm following the bass line. Unless it's a really complex type of tune, it takes less than 2 minutes for me to do that. Because me personally, I grew up during the era of Prince, so everybody in the neighborhood wanted to play everything, the guitar, piano, drums. So, everybody was trying to learn other people's parts on their instruments. And once you do that, or try to attempt to do that, you can understand structure of song much better, because when I write my songs, I write for every instrument. I write for the guitar, I write the bass line, I write the piano part, I write the string part, the drum part, the percussion, because I've been around people that, in my band come find to observe what they're doing. So I stress that, it doesn't not only makes you a better musician, it makes you a great songwriter. And that's where the money is, because guess what? You're going to come up to a point in your time, you're going to get tired of touring. You got a wife and kids at home. You're like, I don't see them that much throughout the year. So at some point in time, you're going to want to retire from that because it's not cracked up what it's cracked up to be. After maybe a year or two or touring, you don't want to tour no more. You're tired. You're sleeping on the bus half the time. You're sleeping in foreign beds. You're homesick. The people that love you miss you. So, you better have another avenue of revenue to rely on as far as like songwriting, because you could do that in your living room in your pajamas. So like I said, when I think about things that I think that would be helpful to you guys, I will post videos because, again, I'm just trying to pass on knowledge, because people passed it on to me. And I'm like trying to just pass it on to the next young person, when I'm not around, that they're kind of following the footsteps of how we used to do it. Because me and Joe Spencer, the co-host of my show, Tell It Like It Is, we had this conversation, and we might probably do a whole Tell It Like It Is just on this. And it's interesting because here's the scenario. I'm sitting in the car with my father. I'm 17 years old. He's in his 40s. And I turn on the radio. I'm turning on to something that I like. And he's like, what is that? That ain't music. And then, you rewind it to say 30 years earlier, now your father is sitting in your seat and his father is sitting in the other seat. And he turns on the radio. And the point I'm making is you know, we all have this debate about what era of music is good music or bad music. And I look at it like this. Up from like the 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s, and probably stopped at the 80s. The music that I enjoyed in the 80s was different from what my father used to listen to. They were different styles of music, but guess what? Each area or genre of music or era of music, they were good musicians, regardless of what they were playing. Now, unfortunately, I can say this to my daughter: this ain't music. You know, it's just one dude playing with one hand on the keyboard and sampling other stuff. That ain't music. That ain't being a musician. You know, so this is the reason why I'm on this crusade, you know, to just try to, you know, reach out to the young folks and say, hey, you know, I respect what you're doing. Just, you know, be good at what you're doing and know what you're doing. You know, instead of this, I can't read music, I can't hear, I'm just finding something that sounds good on the keyboard with one hand. That's not playing. And you can make a lot of money being a good musician, especially in this day and age, since there's not that many of them. You know, so that's what I told my daughter. I'm like, you can corner the market because you're only 18 years old and you play like you play now. People going to come looking for you to say, hey, I got some songs I want you to help me write. Or what do you have? Instead of, you know, I got a sequence and I'm sampling and chopping up old sample stuff and other people's music, and I call this music. Now I call it collectively putting together other people's compositions. That's what I call it. But again, the whole thing about the bass and the guitar player. If you're a guitar player, listen to bass lines. Start playing bass lines on your guitar. If you are a bass player, start playing a little few chords, you know, because that makes you a better bass player too. You know, so, you know, you can't be this, I'm just tunnel vision. This is all I want to focus on, just playing bass or just playing guitar. Forget everybody else. You can't forget everybody else because they are a part of what you're doing, and you need to know what they're doing, and vice versa. So until next time, I hope this was helpful. Until next time, take care. Thanks for watching.